Johar and good evening to all. I am Gomke Bimalakra SDB from Don Bosco, Harmony. I, on behalf of AYIMA Global Webinar Organizing Committee, consisting of Gomke Louis and IPS from Guwahati, Gomke Jude Thaddeus Khalkho from Shillong, Gomke Boris Ain from Dibrugarh, Gomke Libyok Jur from Mauritius, and Gomke Rose Merlin Nag from Canada, and with our live streaming partner, Adivasi Awaj, facilitated by Gomke Wilfred Topner from Gogamo, welcome you all to this 24th AYIMA Global Webinar. The procedure for this evening's webinar will be as follows. Immediately after me, the resource person will be introduced to us. After the introduction of the resource person himself will come alive and will share his life story for about 10 to 15 minutes. After his sharing, all the participants who would like to know something more about our resource person can put up your questions and queries in the question and chat box. Question and answer session will be moderated by Gomke Louis I. After the question and answer session is over, today we are going to launch and inaugurate through our chief guest, the AYIMA webinar and Facebook. Once that is done, we shall have the conclusion and summing up of this evening's webinar by Gomke Jude Thaddeus Khalkho. The webinar will come to an end at 6:30 p.m. Let us begin then this evening's webinar by the introduction of the resource person by Ms. Maria Indwar. Maria, over to you. Maria, over to you. Put on your mic. Maria, put on your mic.
Thank you, Father, for giving me this opportunity. Good evening and Johar Sabmanke. I am Maria Indwar, belonging to Rajgarh Tea State of Dibrugarh District, Assam. I am studying in Don Bosco College, Golaghat, BA third semester with Political Science Honours. Today, I feel so happy to introduce our resource person. Here I go. The resource person for this evening's webinar is Dr. John Bergsman EKKA, an IAS officer belonging to 1995 batch of Assam Meghalaya cadre. IAS Dr. J.B. EKKA was born in a remote village in the district of Gumla of Mr. Remis EKKA and late Mrs. Clotilda EKKA. He did his primary schooling in Don Bosco School in Hindi medium and his college studies in St. Xavier's. Dr. did his MBBS All India Institute of Medical Sciences, New Delhi, in the year 1992. He proceeded to do his master's from one of the best universities in USA called Johns Hopkins. He completed his master's in public health in the year 2016. His various work experiences and responsibilities held are the following. He was the Deputy Commissioner of Golaghat from the year 2001 to 2005, after which he was transferred to Nagaon as Deputy Commissioner, where he remained just for 1 year up to 2006. Next, he became the Mission Director of National Rural Health Mission from the year 2006 up to 2011. He was the Commissioner of Texas up to 2015. Then he became the Principal Secretary of Panchayati Raj and Rural Development from the year 2016 till date. Now he also holds the additional portfolio of Principal Secretary of Labor Welfare and Tea Tribes Welfare Department of the Government of Assam. We are indeed privileged and honored to listen to one of our prominent Adivasi achievers. Thank you for giving your time and sharing with us your personal life experiences to inspire and motivate.
Thank you, Maria, for introducing to us Sir Dr. J.B. EKKA, IAS, as a resource person for our webinar. Doctor, the floor is yours. Kindly share with us your life story. Thank you.
Very good evening to all of you. Just a minute. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. You are audible. Yes, sir.
Okay. So, thank you for this opportunity to share my life experience with you all. And I'm very privileged. I can see even the Bishop participating in the webinar today. So, it's an honor. And I'll just like to tell you that you saw my educational qualification and you saw my postings, and you must be thinking, what a lucky guy, studied at the best medical college in the country, and then went on to USA to study masters, and then has been deputy commissioner in 2 districts, commissioner of taxes, and all that important position. And yes, they are true. But then I would like to share that how did all this happen? How did I get there? What did I do differently? And whether my family background is like any of you or is very different, or what is it? So it's not that I would say that I'm a great guy, but then maybe the position I have reached, and the way I've reached there, if they can inspire you, or you can see any similarity there, or you think there is something that is common and that you could learn from there. So that is why I want to share my experiences with you all. So as Maria was introducing, I'm from Ranchi, born and brought up there. And like any other Adivasi family, my parents were not doing very well. My father was an assistant in labor department there in Jharkhand, and my mother a school teacher, and we are big family, 6 siblings. I'm the eldest in the family, and we were there, and as any other Adivasi family or tribal family, one would say, like parents, yes, they took interest in our studies, but then they didn't know what to guide and how to guide. It's just like, okay, we are paying your fees, you go to the school, and then you have to, whatever you want to do, you can do. But there is something which I, from childhood, was, I would say I was always a dreamer. Somehow this thing came to me. I used to dream a lot. It's a daydreaming, I would say. That's not in the night. I used to dream, and everything that I see, and then something would come to my mind, and I would start dreaming about it. So a few days ago, there is a Jyot program was there, and some of the participants, including Maria, was there. So I was telling them that my first dream in life was to become a farmer. Why did that dream come? Because I used to go to my native place, and my uncle used to do farming, in the sense he is agriculture. He does agriculture. So I would go there and think that they work so hard, and what can be done? How could the productivity be increased? What mechanization should be done, and how should the irrigation be there? And how could the land be utilized 3 times a year so that you get maximum out of it? How can you do your marketing of this product? that you grow the vegetables, etc., and all that. So I used to dream a lot. So my first dream was to become a very successful and big farmer. And then once my father was posted in Patna, and I went to meet him. And then those days, you have this night super where you have videos. So that was the first time I saw a video in a bus, and I was so impressed. And I thought, well, when I grow and maybe I'll own buses, I'll own a bus, and then how do I one bus will become a two bus and three and four and then multiple fleet of buses that I would have. So that is the kind of dream I used to have. Then at some point of time, I went to see movies, and then in Ranchi there was one theater which has two theaters. One is a smaller one, and the one is a big one. So suddenly this idea came to me that why can't there be one theater complex where you could have multiple theaters, and one theater running a commercial movie, the other theater maybe running an art movie, the third one maybe running an international English movies and that kind of a thing. And then there's like a place where people can come and spend time and have food and all that. So that is the kind of ideas that would come to me all the time. So somehow these ideas were there, which anything I would see and start dreaming. So that was there. But when I was growing up, my father wanted me to become a doctor. I was good in maths, so I wanted to become an engineer, but then he said you can become a doctor. So I said, okay, fine. If you all think that I should become a doctor, then I would like to become a doctor. But as you would know that in Adivasi families, when I was studying, I was growing, again, we have a typical thing of every occasion we get together and have food and drink and enjoy, and that I would get affected because that would happen very frequently at home. That was very commonly, right? Where every occasion that you meet together, any relative comes and you get together, have food, drinks, and then all Ghana and mother and all that would happen. So I was very clear that no, I will not stay here because in this environment I will not be able to study. So when I decided to become a doctor, I thought that I will not study in Jharkhand. Those days it was not Jharkhand, it was Bihar. So I said, no, I will not study in Bihar. I have to go somewhere out. And that is when I learned that there was a father's friend who was a doctor, and his friend who had done MBBS from All India Institute of Medical Science. And that's the best medical college in the country. So then somehow it came to my mind that let me try, why can't, maybe if I try, I can get admission there. So I started studying, but those days again, at our place, my uncles and my mamas, they would come from village and they would study in Ranchi and they would stay in our house. So they would be studying magazines like Competition Success Review, where you would have the interview of IAS officers who are qualified. So I used to read that and I said, why is everybody talking about IAS officers? Is that a great job? And I asked my uncles and he said, yeah, that is the best job. And then I asked them, what does one need to do? So we need to be a graduate. But those days, when I was studying in Ranchi, I wasn't confident enough. I didn't know if I do a simple graduation and prepare for civil service, whether I'll make it or not. And if I don't make it, what happens? What do I do? So I said, no, I think I should become a doctor first. So at least I'll have a job, some kind of a basic degree I'll have, and I'll have a reasonable life, and after that I'll prepare for civil service. So I started preparing, and I said I will not study in Bihar. I will have to go and study outside some good college. And AIMS for All India Medical Science was something that had come to mind. And I thought, let me try. Why I should try. And I had not even filled the form for Bihar. Saying that I will not study in Bihar, so I had not even filled the form. And I used to study like mad. Mad in the sense, what would say is that studying, I would get up, study, have food, do my this thing, basic breathing, etc., and all that, and study. That's it, and then sleep. So that is how I used to study. And I had filled the applications for only 3 medical colleges. One was All India Institute of Medical Science, New Delhi. The other was Assam Armed Force Medical College, Pune. And the third was St. John's Medical College, Bangalore. These were the 3 forms I filled, and I had not even filled forms for any other college. So I had just thought that I have to make it in either of them. I would not be studying in Bihar, and I used to study like mad. And finally, when the results came, I had qualified for Honors in Medical Science and St. John's Medical College, Bangalore. So I was again in a dilemma where to study because All India Institute of Medical Science is a government college, whereas St. John's Medical College belongs to our church, Catholic Church, and so I went to our bishop, who is a cardinal now, Telesphore Topo. Met him. I said, "What should I do?" I've been selected in St. John's as well as All India Medical Science. So he said, "No, our boys and girls should go to our medical college. So you go to St. John's, Bangalore. That is a good college for us, and you should study there." But then I was somewhere, I was thinking, but this All India Institute of Medical Science is considered to be the number one in the country. So what do I do? So I went to my principal in St. John's College, and I told him that this is the thing. What should I do? So he told me, "No, we want our students to go to the best medical college. And All India Institute of Medical Science is the best, so you should go there." So I decided that I will go to All India Institute of Medical Science, and I joined there. So when I reached there, again, today there are many All India Institute of Medical Sciences, but those days it was only one that was in Delhi, and that medical college has just 50 seats. And that too, out of 50, there are 5 seats are for foreigners, so 45 seats for Indians. And the best of the best go to the there. And when the ragging was taking place, everybody would ask, "What is your marks? How much have you scored?" And most of the boys would say that PCM 100%. Now PCM means physics, chemistry, math 100%. Out of that 45, almost 10 of them had such kind of marks where they had 100% marks on physics, chemistry, math. And they would ask me, "How much is your marks?" And I would say 76%. And I was so tense. I said, "How am I going to study here with all these colleagues who have 100% marks on physics, chemistry, and I have just 76%. I said, "Okay, now that I have reached here, I have to do something. I can't just be discouraged." So I studied for 1 year. And the first year, you have an exam that's called First MBBS. So that exam, out of 50, 28 students failed in one subject or the other, and 22 only passed in all the subjects. I was one of those lucky 22 who had passed in all the subjects, and that is where I got the confidence that, okay, now if given an opportunity, equal opportunity, then I can be as good as anybody else. And that gave me confidence, and that is where I then, obviously, I completed my MBS, and at the back of my head, it was always there that I have to do civil service, because it was there that I'm in the best medical college and I could become a good doctor. But I always thought that if I want to help large number of people, then it is somewhere one has to be part of the administration, where one is a policy maker, and you can make a policy for lakhs and crores of people, and that is where you can make a difference. But if I'm a doctor, I would save a lot of people, or maybe help a lot of people, but then would not be making a difference at the larger level. So I said, okay, that civil service was something there, which was back of my mind. So immediately, as soon as I completed my MBA, I started preparing for civil services. In the first attempt, I got Indian Police Service, and I wanted to join. But those days, I used to be very lean and thin. I was extremely just maybe 48 kgs, you would say. So I went for medical examination. And there was a doctor, the medical examination was there in a college nearby, that is Maulana Azad Medical College. And the doctor who was doing medical examination, he asked me, "You're a doctor?" I said, "Yes." He said, "You're a doctor from All India Medical Science?" I said, "Yes." He says, "Then why are you leaving All India Medical Science and then want to go to civil service?" So I said, "I always wanted to be an administrative service." So he said, "But you are wasting your seat. People like they're crazy about All India. They would do anything for getting a seat there, and you're wasting your seat." So I told him that I put my medical knowledge to good use whenever I get an opportunity. But somewhere he was upset and he he did not do my chest measurements properly. But anyway, I would not blame him. I was also very negligent. So I was disqualified for police service and I was given Indian Revenue Service. I thought that from ordinary medical science, I'm a doctor and I don't want to go to revenue service. So I appeared again. Then next year, I made it to, I qualified for IAS. That is how I have reached Assam. And in 95, we came to Assam, and then from 95 onwards, I'm there in different capacities. But then again, after reaching here also, it was not something that I had put an end to my academics because it was always there that I have studied medicine and I have to put that knowledge to good use. And I got an opportunity to put my knowledge to use when I was the mission director for National Rural Health Mission. I was there for 5 years, and that is where I put my administrative knowledge also to use as well as my medical knowledge. So I was there from 2006 to 2011, 5 years, and I think we did reasonably good work in health sector during this. So then I thought that the health sector is an area where I have an expertise, where I am better than others in my service. And public health is a subject which again is a part of the administration. That is an area where you don't treat patients, but you make policies which impact a larger number of people. So I specifically study Masters of Public Health. So after that, like I was in service, then I appeared for exam, this called GRE exam, got qualified for Johns Hopkins University, and I wanted to go there because that is the #1 university in the world for public health, Masters of Public. So I qualified in 2015, and I went there, studied for a year. Again, that gave me further confidence because you are now qualifying, competing with the best in the world. So I studied there for a year in USA and came back, and now I'm doing rural development. So that is how it is there in the government. Many a time they don't put your knowledge or skill to use. So after studying public health, I have come back and I'm here in rural development from 2016, and from 2019 I'm for labor welfare and tax welfare. I've served in Assam in various places all over, from first was Jorhat, then Lakhimpur, Stadia, then Sibsagar, Guwahati, Golaghat, Nagaon, and then Guwahati. So this is how it is. But let me tell you that all this journey that is there, there are 2-3 things which I think have really made a difference. In the sense, I always used to dream, think, and then there was that kind of a thing that if I work hard, if I really make effort for it, I can get it. That somewhere there was nothing, that fear was not there, that there was no hesitation or fear that I would not be able to make it. That I think really helped me, because at no point of, yes, I would get scared, but no point of time I would get discouraged. So that is something which helped. Because I thought, I dreamt of going to all India's medical science. I worked hard in the sense I was not lucky. I was not as lucky. I really worked hard. I would study 40 to 60 hours a day for almost a year. So that is the kind of study one I put into reach there. But then it wasn't something. It was always there that I believe that if I study hard, I can make it there. Even in medical college, we used to study, in the sense every 6 months there was an exam. So you have to study for that exam again. And all this is tough, in the sense you're competing with the best. So it's tough, so one would study. And again for civil service, by that time one had got used to studying 14 to 16 hours a day. Again, that is there. And by that time one had already had the confidence that, okay, if I work hard, I can make it. Because if I made it to AIMS, and I have competed with the best in the country, so I could make it in the civil service. So that was there. And the second thing that I think which made a difference was I would take best I would make best use of whatever is available around me. In the sense, my parents were not very well off. So when I was preparing for MBBS entrance, I did not get an opportunity to coaching in the best coaching institutes or the best of the books or tuitions, etc. So whatever was there, I made best use of that. And even for civil services, people talk about going for coaching and all that. I did not do any coaching. I studied on my own. So whatever was there, I made best use of it. And I was never look for for any situation. I would not be looking for excuses, but looking for a way to find a solution in whatever things, whatever resources that are there with me. I will try my best to get it out of it. Even after joining the service, I was preparing for GRE for going to USA. That was also a time I studied, since nobody would say that after joining IAS, why would somebody like to study again? But I studied, appeared for the exam, qualified, and then went and studied. A lot of my colleagues would say, hey, what a waste of time, why are you studying? How will it make any difference now? Your promotion or whatever job that you're doing, it will not add any value. It would add value, but then you would not get any extra benefit. So why are you studying now? I always wanted, okay, I have studied in the best medical college. I have got the best government job. Somebody might say that, okay, you are an SP and you have an SP quota, so you have got advantage and that is where you have reached. So I wanted to go and study somewhere where I would not get an advantage based on my quota, but on my merit. So abroad is a place where there is no quota system. They will select you only if you are the best or you are good, otherwise they will not select you. So I wanted to prove that as well. So, is where that is. That's why I also went to US. Both the things were there that I want to study and masters in public health also. And the second thing, I just wanted to prove myself that okay, without the reservation also, if I have this opportunity and if I get an opportunity, I can do that. So this is a brief about me, and anything else that you would all like to know? I'm just telling you that my background that I come from is not like my parents are not doing very well, or my family or the school. During the introduction only, it was told that I've studied in Hindi medium school, not a best schools in Ranchi also. But wherever I studied, I've tried my best to make best use of it. So that's what I would like to share with you. And I'm sure the thing that I can tell, if the students are here, I can tell you that if you want something, last month when we were in Kaziranga, one of the students was asking me, don't you get discouraged or don't you get disheartened, and how can you be so motivated? I told them that, see, if you want something really bad, or if you want it very strongly, then nothing is going to discourage you. No, nothing is going to stop you from achieving it. Because you want it so strongly. But if you want something, that desire to get it has to be there, and it has to be really strong. And if you have that, then you would overcome all the difficulties, all the lack of resources, time, whatever is there, you would be able to overcome. So that is what I would like to share with you.
Thank you very much, sir, for being a motivated person yourself and for having motivated us. Now we shall go into the question and answer session period, and that will be moderated by Gomke Luis. Gomke, over to you.
Johar, everyone. Sir, first of all, it's an honor, a big honor indeed to have you on our platform. গতিকে আমি সবৰ হৈ পেলাই যিমান পাৰ্টিচিপেণ্টছ আছে সবৰ হৈ পেলাই আপোনাক বহুত বহুত ধন্যবাদ জনাব বিচাৰোঁ। আৰু ছাৰ এই যিমান পাৰ্টিচিপেণ্টছ আছে আমাৰ আজি তেখেতসকলকো মই ৰিকুৱেষ্ট কৰিব বিচাৰোঁ যে আপোনালোকে হিন্দীটো ডাইৰেক্ট প্ৰশ্ন সুধিব পাৰে, আৰু যেতিয়া আৰু অসমীয়াটো সুধিব পাৰে। ছাৰে হিন্দীটো কথা পাতিব পাৰে, ইংলিছতো কথা পাতিব পাৰে, অসমীয়াটো কথা পাতিব পাৰে। আৰু যেতিয়া আপোনালোকে প্ৰশ্ন সুধিব তেতিয়া ডাইৰেক্টলি সুধিব পাৰে, ভিডিঅ'টো তেতিয়াহে অন কৰিব, নহ'লে কি হয় কি আমাৰ ইয়াত ইণ্টাৰফিয়াৰেঞ্চ হয়, অলপমান কোৱালিটিত প্ৰব্লেম এটা আহি যায়। যেতিয়া সুধিব আপোনালোকে ডাইৰেক্টলি সুধিব, আৰু যিসকলে সুধিবলৈ ডাইৰেক্টলি টান পায় বা whatever reasonত কৰিব বিচৰা নাই আপোনালোকে chat boxত নিজৰ প্ৰশ্নটো দিব মই ছাৰক সেইখিনি প্ৰশ্ন তেখেতৰ আগত থম ছাৰে যাতে উত্তৰ দিব পাৰে কিন্তু এই সুযোগটো মই নিজেই আসলতে ল'বলৈ বিচাৰো আৰু প্ৰথমে মই দুটা তিনিটা প্ৰশ্ন ছাৰক সুধিব বিচাৰিম starting with আপোনাৰ ফ্লায়াৰত যেটো আপুনি দিছে আমাক বা আমি ইয়াত প্ৰদৰ্শন কৰিছো তাত আপোনাৰ পিকচাৰ ফটোগ্ৰাফ প্ৰেসিডেন্টৰ লগত আছে হেতু বিষয়ে দুই লাইন মান ক'লে ভাল পাম দ্বিতীয়তে স্যাৰ এই আপুনি ইমান কেটা পোৰ্টফোলিও ললে বা আছে এতিয়াও আৰু এই পোৰ্টফোলিওত নানান ধৰণৰ স্কিমছ আছে সেই স্কিমবোৰ হেৰি কৰোতে মানে ইমপ্লিমেন্টেশন কৰোতে চৰকাৰে বা আপুনি কি ধৰণৰ সমস্যা ইফ এনি এট অল সন্মুখীন হৈছে আৰু তৃতীয় প্ৰশ্নটো কৰিব বিচাৰো হেতু হল আমাৰ particularly বাগানৰ মহিলাসকল বা গাৰ্ল চাইল্ড as a whole to গোটেই পপুলেশ্যন যাতে নিজকে হেলদি ৰাখিব পাৰে স্বাস্থ্যৱান ৰাখিব পাৰে তাৰ কাৰণে তেখেতসকলে নিজৰ ফালৰ পৰা কি কৰিলে ভাল হ'ব থ্যাংক ইউ স্যাৰ
Okay, so there are three questions here. The first one is that photograph with the President Shankar Dayal Sharma. So that is where we joined the service and we undergo training. So we are also given an opportunity to go and meet the President and the Prime Minister. So I am that photograph is taken when we are meeting the President. And the tall person who's there standing behind is the director of our academy. So that photograph is from there. But it's an honor that joining the service join karta apne enaka vida paye jo apne go president of log dhoribo pare kotha paribo pare you have a tea with him. So that was the photograph of that time. Second is खुदे से कि ये जो महिमान पोर्टफोलियो है और ये बेले स्कीम करो स्कीम इम्प्लीमेंट करो तो कहने का असुविधा पाओ तो वो है तो कब विचारें जे गवर्नमेंटत एटा वस्तु আছে गवर्नमेंटत बहुत स्कीम বিলাক আছে ৰাইজৰ কাৰণে যথেষ্ট স্কিম আছে এই স্কিম বিলাক বহুত এনেকা হয় যে ৰাইজে স্কিম ল'ব নোৱাৰে মানে দুই তিনটা বস্তু আছে কেতিয়াবা তেখেতে সেইটো স্কিমৰ কথা নাজানে কেতিয়াবা এনেকুৱা হয় কি আমাৰ যি ফিল্ড ফাংচনাৰীবিলাক আছে তেখেতে সেইটো স্কিমবিলাক সেইটো ভালকে বুজাই নিদিয়ে নহ'লে তাতে ডিছক্ৰিমিনেশ্যন কৰে না সেইটো সেইধৰণে হয় বাট দেৰ আৰ নাম্বাৰ অফ স্কিমছ এণ্ড এটা বস্তু কি হয় এই স্কিমবিলাক ভালকে যদি আমি কৰিবলৈ বিচাৰোঁ ফিল্ডত তো ভালকে আমি সেইটো মনিটৰ কৰিব লাগে ভালকে একেবাৰে তলৰ লেভেললৈকে যেতিয়ালৈকে মনিটৰ কৰিব নোৱাৰোঁ আমি সেইটো স্কিমবিলাক যিমান ভাল স্কিম নহয় তলৰ একেবাৰে লাষ্টত যি মানুহ আছে যাক বেনিফিট দিব লাগে সেইটো আমি বেনিফিট দিব নোৱাৰোঁ মই এটা উদাহৰণ দিবলৈ বিচাৰিছোঁ মই এটা পঞ্চায়ত ৰুৰেল ডেভেলপমেণ্ট ডিপাৰ্টমেণ্ট আছোঁ তাতে আমি ওল্ড এজ পেঞ্চন এণ্ড উইডো পেঞ্চন আমি দিওঁ আৰু যথেষ্ট মানুহবিলাক আমি দিওঁ প্ৰথমতে আমি 6 লাখ মান ওল্ড এজ পেঞ্চন দি আছোঁ ডেভেলপমেণ্ট উইডো পেঞ্চন দি আছোঁ
এক্সকিউজ মি স্যাৰ আপোনাৰ আৱাজ অলপ লো আহিছে স্যাৰ মাইক্ৰোফোনটো ওচৰত ধৰিলে ভাল হ'ব নেকি স্যাৰ
Okay, maybe I'll speak louder now. Is it okay or?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's okay now.
So, I'll give example of two programs in our department. One is an old age pension and other one is a widow pension scheme. Now, earlier, we used to have a lot of problem in these schemes because we used to give the money to the districts and the districts would then distribute the money to blocks and then blocks will distribute the money to the beneficiaries and sometimes there will be check and sometimes cash payment and we would not get utilization on time. So there would be delay and the regular payment would not happen. So we said that we have to get out of this because this pension, if they don't get it regularly, then it will not serve the purpose. So we said that how can we do it? How can we make it a regular thing? So we said that we have to somehow have a direct benefit transfer. And that is where we said, let's use the technology. Let's get a detail of all the pensioners, get their bank account number, and then we will send the money directly to the bank account. So if you are able to do that, then the problem utilization will not happen, will not be there. and we can send the money, and we know for sure that the money has been received. And we started this DBT thing for old age pension and widow pension, and it became successful, and we were able to pay regularly. There was no problem with utilization certificate. And after seeing that, the state government said, okay, we will also have a house scheme for old age and widow. And today we are paying pension to almost 24 lakh old age pension and widow pension beneficiaries every month because of DBT, and there is no problem. So there are, you have to look for solutions, and solutions. There are answers there available. So now we know for sure that those people are getting the money, and they're getting the money regularly every month in their bank account. Similarly, I will tell you about T-Tribe Welfare Department. Earlier, for the scholarship, etc., you would physically submit the applications to the subdivision welfare office there. From there, physically, the people would come. Some districts would submit it, some will not submit them. Many times, we will not have those certificates because those papers are there in subdivision. District level, there would be no copy available, and we would not be able to verify it. So last time we said, no, if we want to streamline this, we have to have an online system. We got a lot of resistance. A lot of people told us, right, online so we said, no, let's try it. It's possible. We will do online. And last year also we got a good response. And this year I'm saying that the response of online is really good. And once we get an online application, then we can see them properly. All the applications, the account number, all the certificates that are there. And this time again, what we did was the last time whoever had applied, they said that you did not fill all the form again. You just need to give a certificate of that you have passed that particular class, so you have gone to the next class, and that should be sufficient. We already have your card certificate, we already have your bank account number. So that makes things easier. So we have to use technology, and if we use technology properly, then yes, we can ensure that the schemes reach to the people properly. The third one you asked about is women and how should their health, what should they do to improve their health. Now, this is something which is a big concern in the tea garden and among the Adivasi women as well. Because of the economic condition, we don't eat well, and therefore health otherwise also is poor, and on top of that there is anemia and other issues are there, and this leads to high number of maternal mortality among the community, and this is where there is a concern, and the concern is that we need to have eat better food and then take care of our health and take timely care of our health. If we do not do that, then this problem will be there. And again, I would be surprised if most of the people know, but there is a scheme from the government for the pregnant women, which is called CAF compensation scheme for the tea garden women. So if you are a tea garden worker and you are pregnant, and you can get a CAF compensation 12,000 rupees for your during the pregnancy. You do not work, and that is the money that government will give you. But I'll be surprised if many people know about it. But such kind of things are there. So we also have to make effort to ensure that these schemes reach to the people. So apart from that, obviously a lot of awareness has to be there, a lot of behavioral change has to be there. But there are schemes also available from the government, and the community has to take a lead in creating that behavioral change and awareness about the health. So then only the health conditions will improve.
Yeah, Luis, sir.
Sir, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, sir. In between, actually, I lost you, but I found you again. So thank you for answering all those questions. I'm sure our people have greatly benefited from that. I would like to also announce that we have Professor K. Raja Mohan Rao, Professor of Economics and from the University of Hyderabad. Sir, if you would like to ask a question, you can definitely ask, but we would also, we are happy that you have offered your services for students who want to work in, do PhD in the area of social development on tribal issues and all that. So you may come in, sir, if you would like to ask any question.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, everybody. I'm extremely happy to join this group. In fact, I'm very thankful for the growth to introduce me to this group. In fact, I'm very much interested in development of tribals, especially. I have guided a couple of students on tribal issues, non-timber forest products, and tribal livelihoods. And one student from Manipur, he is also a tribal candidate. He's doing his PhD on impact of globalization on Maran tribes in Manipur. So, like that for MBA, MPhil and PhD, I have been grading for the past 30 years. Now, till last year, I was heading the Center for Study of Exclusive Inclusive Policy. My duty is to meet with the expert communities and also to support them. Basically, I am a Christian background person, a Baptist background from college, and I'm really of listening to that Mitra, really felt so happy because though he's a very high position, he spent a lot of his time to explain his own personal experience that has given a lot of encouragement to not only encouragement and also inspiration to all the students how one should have some kind of sincerity and hard working and to have some way to come up in life. His life itself is an inspiration to all of you. Even for me also, I really felt so happy. Really thanks. And this is a very good opportunity for me to have some acquaintance with all of you. From my side, whatever that is needed for the students, I will extend my help. And we also used to regularly organize several seminars and conferences after inviting various people. I would request now itself for that EKKA. Sir, if it is possible, can we spare some time to address our students and also we are going to organize a seminar with this great occasion that will give a lot of inspiration and help to many people in the rural area. I had a great experience in working in Gandhigram Rural University for 18 years, and I used to regularly participate in the rural development program. That's why I have a soft corner for the, especially for the tribal students, because nobody helps them because of lack of awareness. They are not able to utilize various scholarships and other programs. That is why I assure my help all the time to students because I have no specific questions because I am not aware of Northeast also basically. I never visited that area. With this period, I must really thank all of you for having given me this opportunity to be acquainted. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Hello, Gomke Luis.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Professor. Now, may I ask? Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you. Now, may I ask Jude Kalko to please ask his question personally? Jude?
Yes. Johar, sir. Good evening, sir.
Johar.
Sir, thank you so much for joining. I'm speaking from Shillong. And sir, my question is basically you have been working with our community for quite some time. As a general thing, you want to experience like we want to know from you what works and what doesn't work working with the Adivasis, number one. Number two, sir, I like to also know, regarding the scholarships that you are offering under T and XT welfare department. We are trying our best to get those, and we have some challenges. We will let you know in days to come. But may I know, or may we know around how many students get benefited every year? How many are able to access that? So these are the two questions as of now, sir, I would like to ask you. Thanks a lot.
Okay. The first question about what is my experience about the various schemes and how do community people respond to that. I would say that there are a number of schemes that are there from the government, but the uptake of the schemes and the awareness about the schemes among our community is very poor. And see, if the awareness is not there, people do not know, they do not demand for it, then you will not get it. In the sense, if you think that somebody would come and offer it to me, that will not happen. So for that, the community has to know about them. Community has to make demand for them. Whenever you meet a political leader, you have to go and ask him, sir, हमें अकेले को आना है तो उसको, हम अकेले दिया ना है. If unless and until we do not do it, they will just come during the election and maybe just give few things and that thing, and we will be happy. But so that is where the awareness has to be there and the demand has to be there. They say the crying baby gets the milk, but somebody who keeps quiet will not get anything. So that is where. So I feel that the awareness about the various benefits from the government has to be there. People should know what are the various benefits that are there, and you should ask for it. Unless and until it has to be both ways, and the government also has to deliver. The government has to deliver. The government has to be more proactive.
Thanks, sir. Next one was, sir.
The other side also is,
around how many students do really get access?
No, I'll tell you.
Okay, sir. Sorry.
I'll come to that. So the second thing that you're talking about. Now, in case of scholarship, last year we were able to give it to all those who are under pre-matric and post-matric and financing. So whoever applied for it, they got it. There was problem with higher studies because higher studies, the budget which was given to us was not sufficient, and many people did not get the money. So we are trying our best that we would, those people who have not got it last year, they will get it. And this year again, we have taken up the matter with the government, and scholarship, we are trying to ensure that everybody who applies for it will get it. So, but the application for pre-matric is very poor. On an average, I'm told that we have at least 10,000 students from the community who would be in class 9 and another 10,000 class 10. So there are 20,000 potential applicants for pre-matric scholarship. But this year I've been monitoring it, and so far only maybe 1,800 odd have applied. That means 1/10 of those who can take the benefit have applied for it. The response in post-matric is better this time. Financing, however, is better, and even fire studies is better. So we'll try our best that everybody will get it. That is subject to the condition that the finance department releases all the money to us. So, but we have taken online application. We will sort that and we will ensure that everybody gets it. The Aldas Panika and SSG schemes, this time we are not taking application because last year only we could not pay them because we did not get the money. So whatever fund is there, we will pay to those people who had applied last year and who had not got it. So that is about the scholarship scheme.
Right, sir. Thank you so much. Louis, sir, if I may just quickly request, sir, one more or two things. Sir, just wanted to inform you that we have started some kind of CSP type of thing. Individual volunteers, we have around three places, one in Karbi Anglong, Golaghat, and one in Dibrugarh, who are facilitating, to get a scholarship to our students, especially in getting all the legal documents or all the documents that is required, to get this. Sir, I was just thinking, we have a group of MSW, social workers in Assam, and we thought, sir, if we can get an appointment with your people in the department or with you, to discuss few challenges that we are facing and, sort out how we can move forward so that not only 1,500, but all who apply, let us say 2,000 or 20,000, 30,000, whoever applies, everybody gets it. So, sir, I had a request if we can get an appointment with you or your people in the directorate we will come physically and meet you, sir.
Okay.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jude, for all those very, very practical questions. Now, may I request Gomke Joel EKKA to personally ask his question. Gomke Joel?
Yeah, hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes,
I
yes,
also would
Joel.
like to thank sir as well as IMA global team for this today's program. I have put up there one simple question, means burning question only, which is going on. Just would like to know, means what could be solution and means what could be there issue of that giving T tribe name to Adivasis. So that is only my simple question. I hope you understood. Hello.
Yeah, I understood it. I've understood the question. I would not like to reply that question here. Maybe individually, if you ask me, I'll reply that.
Okay.
Yeah, I would not like to reply that in the topic, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Gomke Joel. Now we have Gomke Martin Minch. Please ask your question.
Good evening and Johar to everyone present here. I am Martin Minch from Dibrugarh district. I completed my graduation from Don Bosco College, Golaghat, and completed my MSW from Don Bosco College, Dharmapuri. And now I'm doing my coaching for civil services at inside IAS Guwahati. It is indeed a pleasure to address an issue where many eminent personalities are present. So I would like to make a request to Sir J.B. EKKA, the Principal Secretary of Labor Welfare and T-Tribes Welfare Department. There is a scheme for the Adivasi students who are going for coaching, financial help of a support of some 10,000 rupees per month. So my request is that, like, since I am inside IAS and it is a private institute and it is not recognized by the government, I would like to request you, sir, as per the rules and regulations permit, do recognize this institute under the government so that many Adivasi students like us who are like willing and like dreaming to pursue this esteemed career so that we can get like financial help and support through the department and through the government. Thank you.
Okay.
I have a question.
Okay, we will consider that. But see, again, what happens is, if it's a private institute, so one has to actually verify how good are they, or are they really good, because private would not mean your institute only, but there would be so many others who would come and say, sir, amiyo bhal, amalo select dibo lage. So somewhere we have to go through that scrutiny process, and then we will be able to do it. So we'll have a look at it. I cannot offhand say that, okay, and it is not whether what I consider, it is that there has to be papers which are there, and those papers have to speak that these institutes fulfill those conditions, and then all those who are studying there, they would also get them.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, both of you. Now we have David EKKA. David, apuni directly prashno khudibo pare.
Sir, নমস্কাৰ ছাৰ। ছাৰ মোৰ দুটা প্ৰশ্ন আছিলে ইয়াত। আমি কি বুলি কয়, যেটো আমাৰ সিৰিজ পৰ্টেল আছে, দুটা প্ৰশ্ন। প্ৰথম প্ৰশ্নটো হ'ল যে আমাৰ টি গাৰ্ডেন এৰিয়াবোৰত মানে সদ্যহতে প্ৰি মেট্ৰিক ষ্টুডেণ্টছে তেওঁলোকে এপ্লাই কৰিবলৈ অসুবিধা পায় তাৰমানে সিৰিজ পৰ্টেলত। তো ঠিক তেনেকৈ কিবা প্ৰভিজন আছে নেকি তেওঁলোকক অলপ সহায় কৰি দিবৰ কাৰণে? সহায় ছাৰ, সহায়টো ছাৰ যেনেকৈ আমাৰ CSP কাষ্টমাৰ চাৰ্ভিচ পইণ্ট বা ঠিক তেনেকুৱা টাইপৰ।
সেইটোৱে কৈছো মানে বস্তু কি হয় এতিয়াতো গভৰ্ণমেণ্ট ফালৰ পৰা নাই একো হয় মানে বাট আমাৰ কমিউনিটি লিডাৰ আপোনাৰ কমিউনিটি এডুকেটেড ল'ৰা ছোৱালী যেতিয়া অলপ যাৰ কম্পিউটাৰ আছে অলপ ল'ৰা ছোৱালীক সহায় কৰি দিলে একো প্ৰব্লেম নাই যেনেকৈ জুডে কৈ আছিলে তেখেতসকলে বহুত MSc ল'ৰাবিলাকক লৈ কৰি আছে সেইধৰণে কৰিব লাগে এবাৰ ইমান হৈছে বহুত এইটো হৈছে কি বহুত কমিউনিটিৰ পৰা এডুকেটেড ল'ৰা ছোৱালী সহায় কৰি আছে সেইটোৰ কাৰণে এপ্লিকেশ্যন বেছি হৈছে চ' আই থিংক আমি সেইটোৱে কৰিব লাগিব গভৰ্ণমেণ্টৰ চব বস্তু কাৰণে গভৰ্ণমেণ্টৰ চাই থাকিব নালাগে যি আমি কৰিব পাৰোঁ
হয় হয় আৰু স্যাৰ আৰু সেকেন্ড কোৱেশ্চনটো স্যাৰ
ল'ৰা
হয় স্যাৰ সেকেন্ড কোৱেশ্চনটো হ'ল স্যাৰ এই সিৰিজৰ যেটো হয় আমি যেহেতু কি বুলি কয় আমাৰ যেটো আদিবাসী MSW এছ'চিয়েশ্যন আছে আমি এইটো স্যাৰ এৱেৰনেছ দিবলৈ আমি চেষ্টা কৰিছিলো স্যাৰ কিন্তু আমি কি হয় কিছুমান কেতিয়াবা আমি টেকনিকেল অসুবিধা পাওঁ ৰিগাৰ্ডিং টু স্যাৰ সাইট লৈ তো স্যাৰ আমি এইটো আমি যিমান পাৰো আমাৰ ফালৰ পৰা আমি সহায় কৰিছো মোৰ লগত ফ্লৰেন্স আছে তেওঁ প্ৰায় 300 ষ্টুডেণ্টছক এপ্লাই কৰিছে মই মোৰ ফালৰ পৰা মানে আপোনাৰ অফিচ আৱাৰ্ছ এটলিষ্ট আমি 20-30 মান আমি এনেকা চেষ্টা কৰিছো সহায় কৰিবৰ কাৰণে আপোনাৰ অফিচ আৱাৰ্ছ তো স্যাৰ কেতিয়াবা আমি কি হয় আমি স্যাৰ টেকনিকেল অসুবিধাবোৰ পাওঁ তো এইটো স্যাৰ কন্টেক্ট পাৰ্সন আমি কৰিব লাগিব তাত কতোটো সাইটত একো কিবা
নাই এটা নাম্বাৰ আছে তাতে যোৱাকালি মোক কোনে কৈছিলে কি এই মানুহজন ট্ৰান্সফাৰ হৈছে মই কৈ দিছো অফিচাৰসকলক বেলেগ নাম্বাৰ দি দিবলৈ থাকিব টেকনিকেল মানুহ থাকিব তাতে নাম্বাৰ দিয়া হ'ব সাইটত
আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে স্যাৰ
তাতে নাম্বাৰ হ'ব নহলে ইমেইল কৰিব পাৰিব নহলে হোৱাটছআপ কৰিব পাৰিব
হয় স্যাৰ আৰু থাৰ্ড কোৱেশ্চনটো হ'ল আমি যদি কেতিয়াবা যদি আমি যদি এৱেৰনেছ প্ৰগ্ৰাম কৰিব বিচাৰো তো ফৰ টেকনিকেল সেশন যদি আমি যেনেকৈ আমি ৱেবিনাৰ পাতিছো যদি আমি টেকনিকেল সেশন এনেকৈ পাতিব যদি আমি বিচাৰো তো স্যাৰ আমাক কেতিয়াবা আপোনালোকৰ সহায় লাগিব পাৰে তো ৰিসোৰ্স পাৰ্সন হিচাপে এইটো যদি আমি পালে আমাৰ ভাল আছিল স্যাৰ আৰু সেই কন্টাক্ট পাৰ্সনটো
মই ডাইৰেক্টৰক কৈ দিব পাৰো মই ডাইৰেক্টৰ টি ট্ৰাইবেল ফেডক ক'ব পাৰো ৰিসোৰ্স পাৰ্সন আহিবলৈ তেতিয়া সময় নাই আৰু 15 দিন হৈছে আৰু 15 দিনত আৰু নেক্সট ইয়াৰ কাৰণে কৰিব আৰু
হয় স্যার নেক্সট ইয়ার কানেক্ট কৰিব পাৰিম হয় স্যার হয় ঠিক আছে থ্যাংক ইউ স্যার
নেক্সট কৰিব পাৰে
হেল্ল' গমকে লুইস হেল্ল'
হয় হয়
গমকে লুইস I would like to ask a question. Good evening sir JB EKKA. I am Bimal talking. Since we are in the practical implementation of scholarships, one of the very practical problem we are facing this year especially is the availability of mark sheet. The students who have applied last year, the requirement in the website is the uploading of mark sheet. But because of non-conducting of exams, delay of conducting of exams, many students have not received their mark sheets. And therefore, we are not able to upload and we have got stuck into this. Therefore, could it be possible that the letter from the recommendation from the head of the institution, headmaster or principal, stating that that student is a student continuing to study, could that be taken as for at least this year in place of because of this problem of getting mark sheet and uploading of mark sheet? Could that be an option?
Yeah, that could be considered. We will take a decision on that. Only thing is the principal will have to certify saying that the student has moved to the next class.
Yes, sir.
That has to be there. So if that is there, we can consider. And I'll talk to my director and tell him that issue a letter so that there is a record available and you all can, on the basis of that, you can apply for that.
Thank you, sir. I think this is a very, very big help because all our students of Dibrugarh University, no mark sheet has been issued. So we are just got stuck with that.
So but wait for the instruction. Don't go by the verbal or this thing. Wait for the written instruction.
Okay. Thank you very much.
These are official work, so you will have to wait for the official paper. You cannot think if after verbally question.
Yeah, true, we understand. But this is a great help and great consideration. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Gomke Bimal Lakra. for that very pertinent question. I'm sure it will help, provided I believe we will have to also officially write a letter of suggestion to the competent authority, maybe the director T-Tribe Sublis, I would know better. Please, যদি প্ৰশ্ন আছে পাৰ্টিচিপেণ্টসকলক প্ৰশ্ন সুধিবলৈ আকৌ এবাৰ ৰিকুৱেষ্ট কৰা হৈ আছে।
Father Louis, I have a suggestion. Can I speak?
Hi. Yes.
Sir, is there any possibility to start establish one exclusive center for civil services coaching for the Adivasi students in the Northeast region? Because Tamil Nadu also, they have their own state government coaching center for students from Tamil Nadu for civil service coaching. Similarly, if one center is established in Northeast area, that would be better, exclusively for Adivasi students, that would be better. Will you kindly consider this one so that it will be useful?
See, this is something, again, there are pros and cons of that. Last year and previous years, we did have a coaching exclusively for boys and girls from T community. But then, see, what happens is, you also want the boys and girls to get an exposure and face the real world. See, if there is a coaching and they are interacting among themselves, they really don't come across and they know that how difficult and how the other boys and girls are preparing. So if again they are in that ghetto kind of an environment, and again for the coaching again they come and they are in that same environment, then you don't get a real feel of the competition. So that is a disadvantage. So somewhere you have to have a mix. So we are still thinking whether to have it exclusively for our boys and girls or let them go and participate in the coaching that are the best, and we provide them financial support. So they get selected, go to get admission in the best coaching institute based on their listing, and we provide a financial support. So they are then interacting with so they are facing the real competition there. They will know how good or bad they are. Otherwise, what happens is somebody who is an average, but since among the community only, he thinks he's very smart and he becomes overconfident, and then he realizes that he's not good enough. So that is something that one has to take into account.
I agree with you. But it is better to give some financial help so that they can go and join any competition. That would be better.
We are deliberating on that, and we are aware.
That would be better. And then, is there any possibility to do some surveys and research on Adivasis in the Northeast area so that we can identify some universities in the Northeast to study the real problems of these people also? Some new things, some hidden aspects will come up.
We are thinking of the study, but we do not have enough budget for that. We have discussed. So today the study is thought of because we really don't know what is the number. We say sometimes it's 17%, sometimes 20%, somewhere maybe 60 lakhs, 50 lakhs. We don't know the exact number, so there is a need for a study of how big is the community. And so unless and until we do not know, then we cannot even plan anything properly. So there is a need for a study. We are thinking on that, and maybe we'll earmark some fund for it and do it. If not, study is like a sample study, but we'll have to do a study.
Yes. We also will help you to do the research also, because we have a lot of Northeast students also in our university, in my department.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Please come in.
Hello. Okay. Good evening, sir. Good evening, everyone. Myself, Adlina Karkata. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Sir, I'm very happy to attend this webinar, and I just wanted to ask. I'm a mental health professional, so I'll be asking related to mental health only. So you have done your MA in I think it's in community health or public health. Public health from Johns Hopkins Hospital. So John Hopkins Hospital is one of the hospital where this mental health, psychiatric social work has started actually from there. So because nowadays, there are very less studies also been found on our community related to mental health. So you have been experienced in lots of area. You have been in Assam for so many years. You have been working with the people for so many years. So do you have to say anything on the mental health status of our community in Assam?
I will not try to venture in that area because that would be a half-baked knowledge because there is no study as such. So whatever I say would be anecdotal kind of a thing. And again, mental health is not something which is an expertise. But see, what we say is that today, 10 to 15% of our population suffers with mental health issues. And among our community, I feel the problem is still more. We many times the community expresses that concern through what you call taking into drinking and all that. So they are all an expression because there are a lot of issues that you can't deal with, you cannot fight, and then you resort to all that drinking and all that. So that problem would be big. But then again, the study is not there, so I would not be able to tell you anything on that. And specifically, I have not done any study myself, or I have not come across any data. So it will be difficult to comment on that as to what is the situation or how grave is the situation.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Adelina, for that question. Just for the information of all that, Adelina, who I recently met at Central University Tejpur, is doing her PhD there. Now we have another question from Manjusha Kujur. Hudiba Parat, directly Hudiba Parat Prasnotu. Manjusha? So let me read out. The question from Manjusha is, sir, is there any financial support if we are planning to go and study abroad? That's the question, sir.
See, there is no specific scheme if you're going to go and study abroad, but I think we can fit in that higher studies category, and there is an amount limit fixed there. So we can consider that, but there is no scheme as such for students who want to go and study abroad. But maybe we can broaden the definition of higher studies and maybe also include. But then again, there'll have to be some specific courses that will have to be there. Listen, we cannot cover every course, but there are some specific courses can be there. And you all can give a suggestion if there is a particular course where the large number of boys and girls are going, or that is something which you think would be useful. There are good universities and maybe they are willing to take our boys and girls and there is a demand for it, then we can consider it. As of today, there is no scheme as such for students studying abroad, but it can be considered. Give us some numbers and give us an application, we'll consider it. We'll examine it and then we'll take a decision on that.
Thank you, sir. I think, sir, there is also a group of young men and women who primarily from Jharkhand and of course from other places, South India and other places, who are based abroad in different parts of the world, who have a group to help. Primarily, the qualification is got to be a tribal, any tribal student wanting to study abroad. So how do you go about it? But the problem that people from Assam are facing is that they cannot probably apply on those websites because they are primarily for, let's say, under the government of India, there is Ministry of Tribal Affairs or something. And because they don't qualify as tribals, probably things are not happening. So maybe your way of looking at things, just like you said, that maybe once we start writing to the government, probably things can be taken forward.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, please write. Let's see. If not 1 year, maybe second year, third year, something will happen. We have to make that problem aware to the government.
Sir, if I may just come on this, actually, while talking to our friends abroad in this group, we are told, although I have not discovered myself, that the central government has these provisions. Only our problem could be we are scheduled tribe or no. That will be a problem. And OBC, MOBC, how many options or how much of opportunities we have, but we can scout out at the central level. From the central government, we can get support to go to abroad and do the study depending on the criteria given. Secondly, what Sir JB EKKA is telling, I think, sir, that is a very great thought and move that I think we should talk with the government of Assam. And under your higher studies, I seriously feel that this also could be taken up. And in our meeting with you, sir, we would like to discuss all these matters. Thank you. Yeah.
Friends, we have just 2 more minutes for the Q&A, question and answers. If you have any, please come in. Otherwise, we go ahead with the proceedings.
Hello. Gomke Luis?
Yes.
Dr. EKKA, now that you have been working in Assam for so many years, what be your evaluative assessment of the progress that Adivasi community has made, say, over this past 50 years?
I cannot say about past 50 years, but I have seen Assam from 96 onwards. And this, whatever I say would be my personal assessment. Yes, the changes are happening, but it's not happening the way it should have. In the sense, one still does not see. One does see few boys and girls making it to a government job, but still that number is very small. The percentage to the community is almost maybe the city community 16 to 18% or whatever, or maybe Adivasi community would be 7 to 10%. But representation in, forget what government job, the other sector as well is also limited. So we have to make a lot of effort. Academics, maybe education-wise, one is doing better from earlier times, but then that is not translating into maybe or jobs or business, enterprise, or even the social capital, that's it. So there are a lot of things, but things are happening, that things are changing, but maybe the change has to be faster, and that is where the community, all the intellectuals and the community leaders, and they have to come together, put their brains, their heads together, and think and work as a group, as a group, and then take the community forward. Because again, we're expecting that somebody else will come and give it to us and think and do it for us. That would not happen. It will happen a little bit, but not to extent that they will take care of everything. We have to be concerned about ourselves. The things are happening, but I would not say I'm satisfied with the progress. There are a lot of scope for improvement, and that has to be there. But then it's not that things are going bad. The things are looking up. I was very happy, and again, Kajiranga, when I met 30-odd boys and girls, and they're very confident. The confidence is there. They want to work for the community. They want to learn a lot of things and make a difference in the society. So the new generation is there. It wants to work for the community. So I'm hopeful things will improve.
Just to continue a bit more, now that you expressed that you feel confident and hopeful about the upcoming generation of getting involved in the development of our society. And there are a number of NGOs, people making effort to start little like community service, and now we have got NGO Trust itself, we have got Adivasi Welfare Trust, we have got Adivasi MSW's Welfare Association. People are making effort to start NGO to get involved in the development of people. My simple question is, can it be funded through welfare department to encourage such NGOs being formed?
See, if you're expecting government to support the NGOs, the government will have its own terms and conditions. So then they would say that you cannot say this, you cannot do this, you cannot do this, and all that. So if you're looking for support from the government, then you would also, they will come with riders. So I would not be expecting or suggesting that one should depend on the government for social work. Really, we'll have to think of some other means. Because if it comes from the government, then you have to be ready with the riders. And again, then there will be a lot of other people who would come and then say, "Ami bhal kam kuriya, so amak lage, hetu lage." A lot of them NGOs will come up certainly to take advantage of the government help. And those genuine ones will not go and run around politicians and run around those people who matter. So you certainly realize that those people who are not, don't have that field presence, they are getting the benefit, but those who are actually working are not getting the benefit. So expecting support from the government is not something that I would really encourage, because community work is something where you need to mobilize the community. They have to go and meet demands and all that kind of thing. So there, maybe that should be done without the support from the government. But then obviously awareness and other things that you can take government help.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Hello.
Yes, Louis.
Yeah, I'm not being able to operate this. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Yes.
Okay. So thank you. And that's probably the end of the questions for today. And we'd like to thank, as a group, we'd like to thank particularly our guest speaker for sharing his life and ways to go ahead. I'm sure many of us would have benefited from it. And I would also like to thank all the people who asked the questions. Now we have something very interesting. Livio Kujur, who is based out of Mauritius, who is a web designer, who is actually from Nagaon, sir. So he's made his way right up to the island country on his own, despite not being from science background. He's designed our website and our Facebook page so that our young generation can come up with their ideas, with their articles, and maybe that's one way we can help each other. May I request now Livio to come on screen, please.
Johar, good evening to everyone. Johar Javi sir, I met you once in Kaziranga, I remember.
I know. I remember.
Elephant
website for Elephant Festival.
Yes, exactly. Now I'm going to share the website that we have created for AYIMA Global. This is the website that we have created for AYIMA Global. I now request Dr. J.B. EKKA sir to inaugurate AYIMA Global website, www.ayima.in. Sir, please inaugurate our website.
How does one inaugurate?
I think you just have to declare that the website is open now for the public.
Okay, so I declare that the website is open for the public.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, with the inauguration of the website, now we come to the concluding part of our webinar. And the summing up and the conclusion will be done by Govt Jude Thaddeus Khalko. Jude, over to you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Father. And first of all, thank you, JB sir. It is really, we are very, very privileged to have you today in our webinar for 1.5 hours. It's very difficult to get people for such a duration. You being the principal secretary, a very busy man, but still you gave us time because you really care for our community. So thank you so much, so much. Sir, and all the participants in AYIMA, we have one saying, which we repeat every day and which also tells about your life, which is in a way, honestly speaking, creation of Sir Louis Hind. So the saying goes like this: the people you associate with and the books you read largely determines your life. Sadri mein kahboi hole, jaisan hamar sang, oisan hamar jivan. We always say that. And I think that is what we keep on saying that because we believe in this principle that the people with whom we are associated with and the books that we read, our life largely determines on that. And sir, I can see in your life that you chose to, change your environment. You felt that in Bihar or Ranchi, perhaps that environment would not support you to become an IAS officer or to become a doctor, to study in AIMS. Yeah, so you changed your environment, the people. So, and plus you also told us that you read a lot of magazines, how you can become successful. So I think the principle that we are following in this group also is part of your life that you have yourself has practiced. Sir, here what we are trying to do basically is to bring our youth to see that we Adivasis may not have the very good background, but still we can achieve. And your life very clearly shows. You told us today that your parents were not that great. One was in labor, my father was in labor department, mother was a teacher. However, you felt that you could do something bigger or greater, and you took interest, so that is what. And I want to also tell our participants here today that we have to become a dreamer like Sir J.B. EKKA, not dreaming at night, but dreaming the daydreamer. Sir told us that he was a daydreamer. He used to dream. For example, when he sat in the bus, he saw the TV, then he said, why not I have 2-3 buses, 10 buses, 20 buses? Yeah. So that is how he dreamt about, and so we have to become really a dreamer. So that is one of the messages that I think we should take, that unless we have a dream, we cannot achieve. Secondly, when he was in AIMS, people with 100% marks were coming, but he had just 60 or 75 or 76%. He was feeling perhaps inferior at that time, but when the result came, he was one among a very few of them. So that gave him the courage, So at the moment we give up telling that, hey, I come from such background, we lose hope. You see, the self-confidence. So that is how I think, sir, we draw a lesson from you today that, your way of looking at life, your way of doing things really can change life. Sir, you had a very big dream, like helping thousands of people. If you become doctor, you will be maybe able to help few people. But if you become a decision maker, perhaps you will be able to help lakhs and lakhs. And that's what you are doing today. We are really, really impressed with such kind of decisions that you made. And today that is what you are doing. And we feel so lucky, so privileged, in Assam to have a personality of your kind and doing such a great work for our community. And we look forward, sir, to work very closely now with you. And, we really want to do. I want to tell our participants here what you did, sir, is that hard work. It is the hard work. No one is lucky. Things doesn't come easily on the plate. You have to work for it, So you worked 12 to 18 hours kind of thing to get anything done. So I feel that, and I want to tell our students that that is the only way that we have to work hard. Unless we work hard, things doesn't work. And sir, another thing which you said, I just want to re-emphasize to our participants here, that whatever is available with you, make best use of it. We always say that I don't have this, but whatever is available, you make best use of it, and you did that, sir, and that is where your success is today here. Sir, thank you for such a great lesson that your life is teaching us today, all of us present here, to our youth, to all of us here, including those who are grown up among us here. It is a really great lesson for us. Sir, when it comes to, the Adivasi development in Assam, I fully agree with you, sir. We all fully agree with you that often what happens is we blame people, we blame government, telling that government is not doing this, government is not doing that. Sir, you told us one thing today, is that you have to be aware. You have to go, what is there, what is not there, how can I get it? So that thing, I fully agree, sir. I am now 18 years of my working experience, although I'm not working in Assam. I'm in Meghalaya, but I'm very much closely associated with Assam. And sir, I worked in Assam for 5 years for IWMP, Integrated Watershed Management Project, sir. I was looking after the soil department there in your Assam government. So I know I have gone to all the districts. So what happened is, among the Adivasis, we never think of going to the government office to see if there is anything for us. So we never try even. So I think we need to go now. It will not simply come in our mouth. Yeah, we have to work for it. So that is the lesson, sir, you taught us today. I am so grateful. Sir, I like to also assure you that we have a group of young people now, that MSW group. Sir, we seriously want to become your kind of part of your hands and legs of your department to start with. We will certainly approach all the departments, sir. But to start with, we want to start with T and XT welfare department, sir. And we want to become your extended hands and arms and legs, and we want to see how we can work out with. Sir, I am working here in Meghalaya for the government of Meghalaya, and I work with all the communities, sir. So I know how it works, and I feel very confident, sir, that we can really work out in Assam also. So I think, sir, having said all of this, once again, sir, I like to really, really thank you on behalf of AYIMA, on behalf of all the participants for, coming and spending your time for 1.5 hours. I think you more than almost 1 hour and 40 minutes. So having said this, thank you so much, sir. And now I give the phone to Father Bimal or Luis, sir, for announcement of next week's program. Thank you so much, sir, once again. Johar.
Thank you.
Gomke Luis, next week's program, please.
Yeah, thank you. That was a fantastic sum up. I think you did justice to what sir had said, and we'll keep in our mind, and we will definitely go ahead with what sir has suggested. You are a big inspiration, sir, and persons like of your eminence, probably we didn't have that many, we don't have that many, but when you come up, you will really light up our lives. And friends, we have next very young youth, very, very young youth, 2 girls, both are sisters who are from Tezpur but based in Pune. One is from corporate industry, one is from education department. And I would personally think you guys, especially the young generation, can see life from the other perspective too, not necessarily from the perspective of government job, which you can definitely go ahead with. But if things come by in other ways, maybe that's one way to go ahead with life. So do join us on 14th from November. We are going to have only twice a month, not every Sunday. That is primarily because students have been finding it really difficult to catch up with their homeworks and assignments. If we do it every Sunday, it takes away quite a bit of their time. So keeping that in mind, we are for now keeping that for only second Sunday and fourth Sunday of the month. See you on 14th once again. Thank you, sir, once again.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for having motivated us, inspired us with your life. We are very grateful to you, Johar, and thank you. With this, we bring to close our 24th AYIMA Global webinar. Thank you to all and good night.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you, all of you.